Hi there, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make the double slider card. This is the WOW card for my October Stamp of the Month Club, and my club members get to make 3 different cards that all coordinate. So this month I'm featuring the Flurry of Wishes stamp set from the holiday catalog. Here it is. And they'll get a card kit to make 2 each of these great cards, and this is the one I'm going to show you how to make today. It's called a double slider card because it has 2 sliders that come up when you pull on the ribbon. So let's go ahead and get started. We're starting with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and we're going to cut it in half at 4 1/4 so that we have a 4 1/4 sheet of cardstock. So this is just a half a sheet of cardstock. Then we're going to take it and we're going to score at 5 1/2. Just like we normally would for half a card. Then we're going to slide it over and we're going to score it. Slide it this way. We're going to score very lightly at 1 3/4. So I'm actually lining up my score line at the 1 3/4. And I'm just going to score really lightly in the middle. You could also use a pen or a pencil because this is going to be hidden by the front of the card. And I'm going to slide it over and I'm going to do that again with my score line lined up at 4 1/4. So I'm going to have 2 light score lines in the middle of the card. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. Now I'm going to use 2 punches. I'm first going to create a notch in the center of the card using my circle punch. You can use any size. I've got 1 1/4 here. And then I'm going to use the word window punch to create the track. And this is where the score lines are going to come into play. I created the score line so that I would know where to stop and start my track. So you can see the score line. Again, if you use pencil it would be a little easier, but I can see where that score line is. So I'm just going to move my word window punch back. I'm going all the way into the cardstock with my punch. I think it's time for a new punch. There we go. And again on the other side, I can see where the score line is, so I'm going to back it up. So I'm only doing the word window punch in between the score lines. Okay, I'm going to do that on both sides. I want the word window punch to be exactly the same length. And so that's why I'm using the score lines as my guide. So this one is a little bit short of the score line, so I'm just going to come back here and punch a little bit more. Okay, so now I've got my perfectly even score lines right in the center of the card where I want them to be. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 circles. I used the 3 3/4 inch circle punch. You can use a 1/2 inch if you want, or you could even go bigger if you want, but I think this is a good size. And I'm going to use a couple dimensionals, and I'm going to make a little sandwich with the circles. So let me put 2 dimensionals on the circles, and I'm going to line them up in the track so that those dimensionals are parallel, the sides of it. And I'm going to put another circle on the other side. So I'm going to do one of these little sandwiches in each track. Okay, so now I've got my little sliders. Okay, on this card I went ahead and I put the tear tape adhesive on the inside. So this is the inside of the card, and it will fold up, and the circle is going to be where the top is. Okay, so I'm going to leave the circles pushed all the way down toward the fold, and I'm going to adhere the top layer. So I've got these 6 pieces here for 3 layers of my card. I want to give you the measurements real quick. So the largest one is 4 1/2 inches by 3 1/4 inches. That's the navy, and 4 1/4 by 3 for the white. Okay, then we've got the small piece, which is going to come up in the center, and this is 3 by 2 white and 3 1/4 by 2 1/4 navy. And then the front piece is the middle size piece. It's 3 3/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch navy and 3 1/2 by 3 inches white. And then also for the front we have a piece of smoky slate, and that's going to be 3 1/2 by 3 1/4. Okay, so we've got our pieces here. I've actually pre-stamped them, so you didn't need to watch me do all of that. But I wanted to show you how I attached the little piece of silver ribbon. This is going to be the pull. I'm using a little bit of adhesive just to hold it in place, and I'm folding the ribbon over. And I'm going to use a little adhesive, it's not there, a little adhesive at the top of the navy, and I really want that ribbon to stay secure and to stay put, so I'm going to use the stapler, and this is just for security so that when I'm pulling up I'm not going to pull the ribbon right out. So I'm going to add this card back over here. I've got a smudge, so I'm just going to turn my card over. And put that over there, and I will add my stamped image later. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and keep going with the card. So this is the front of the card, like I said. So I'm going to turn this over so that it's facing the front of the card. And with this the back layer, I want it to line up with the very top of the card. I'm making sure to keep inside where the tape is going to be so that it can go up and down without being stopped. Now I'm going to put adhesive on the circles down here. And the back layer is going to adhere only to the circles. So I've got them all the way down. I'm lining it up in the center. And it's going to adhere to the circles. So I've got it pulls up and down in the track. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and close up the middle. Just take the liner off the tape and fold up. This will give it a little more security as it slides up and down as well. So it should be pretty smooth sliding in the track. Now we're going to adhere the middle layer. So this is the smaller one. This is the other one that's going to pop up, the other slider. And I'm going to pull this up so that the circles are at the top. And again, I'm going to put adhesive on the circles. And I'm going to line up about the bottom of the layer with the bottom of the circles, centering it up there. Okay, now the last piece is going to cover up the track, and it's going to cover up the middle piece. So when this is down, the bottom layer will cover that up. So the adhesive I used are dimensionals, and I put them in the very, very corners of all four corners. You don't want any adhesive in the middle because otherwise it's going to interfere with this layer. So 4 dimensionals in the very corners, and you could go wider on this piece. If you wanted this center piece to go all the way across, then you'll have lots of room for that slider. I wanted it to be in the center, so I'm going to make sure that I'm right centered over that area, and I'll just check it before I push down. So you want that to be able to slide up and down, and then just go ahead, oops, and push down. So there is the double slider card. Really, really easy once you get the measurements down. I hope that you enjoy this card and you give it a try at home. Thanks for watching. Happy stamping!